today we're doing a sequence where Roy has got locked into the Countdown Club and Moss has left him. And Roy finds himself on the roof, and the only way he can get down is when he looks over the edge and he sees that there's a window hoist.
Take 3. And action.
We're pretending that behind these air conditioning units there's a brick wall with a door that he'll close, and we'll shoot that in the club in 2 days' time. So he comes out at the end, and then he's going to go over to the edge, over there, and look over the edge, and then we'll be cutting to a scene a bit later. We're just going to do it from a different size. Yeah, wider one from up there, so we get you very much isolated on the roof.
100, take 1. And action.
Oh, hey! Hey, mate! Could you do me a favour?
The story of Roy and the window cleaner is actually kind of based on real events, because my wife and I had just moved into this new house, and this guy came around and kind of asked us if we wanted our windows done in such a kind of confusing way. I can't quite explain it, but we were nervous. We didn't know the area. We thought maybe he's a neighbour. And then somehow he said, "Can I leave my bike here?" And we said, "No." I said, "Just for a few minutes." And he kind of brought it right through the house, tied it up at the back garden, and left. And he said he'd be back in an hour. We didn't see him for 5 days.
What's he doing? Why are you bringing the bike inside? What? No! Where are you going? Where are you going? Why do I have your bike?
I had this image of Roy across the road from a bus stop full of people on the bike with the ladder, shouting, "I'm not a window cleaner," over and over again.
No. Oh, no! Alistair! I'm not a window cleaner! I'm not a... Alistair!
And then when you have an idea like that, you naturally think, how can I get Roy to look even more like a window cleaner? and so I did the idea of him going up onto the roof and all that sort of thing.
That's pan left a bit more.
Yeah, it should be okay. Yeah. When I wrote this, I thought these things were a little bit bigger, and they're not. They're really narrow. So luckily the actors are kind of dealing with it, because it is quite frightening being up there, you know.
When you read something like that in the script and the producer or whatever calls and says, "You okay with heights?" and you're like, "Yeah, I'm fine, heights, no problem." First time I wanted down. And there's a strange thing when you go with heights stuff that, and everybody gets this, even if it's the top of a building, where you just want to jump. You just want to jump. And every part of you knows that it's probably not going to be great for your health if you do.
But this is very safe.
Is it alright if I sort of hold on and cry to get out there? Is that okay?
It was terrifying. I found it really terrifying. First 3 or 4 times. After that, it was all no problem. But yeah, it was. There wasn't a lot of moving and laughing in between things during that one. I like the new titty look I've got in this series.
The unluckier Roy is, the better his stories are, you know. So Roy, really, everything that happens to him is you know, just terrible. Really, he's a real bad luck case, you know.
And the cradle's going to move up. Thank you.
I write ideas on cards now, and they're images or scenes that I think will be funny. Like Roy on a bike shouting at some people. That I would call that something like window cleaner bus stop, you know. And I put that up, and I know that's a funny moment. And I keep writing out random ones as I think of them that are unconnected. And then eventually I'll look at the window cleaner one, and I'll say I'll have the idea for the cradle, the window cleaning cradle. And then I'll write that down and put them together and say, okay, they go together. And after a while, shows start kind of growing on one side from all these unconnected ideas on the other side. And it's just a process of hopping back and forth between them and seeing what connections there are and trying to put them into a story.
Najitski.
107, take 1.
Action.
Alistair! 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 I'm not a window cleaner!
Andrew Ellard is our new script editor, and one thing he's great at saying to me is relax a bit about the story. You don't have to tell the story all the time. You can take a bit of time out to kind of explore the characters a bit more and have a bit of fun with them.
One of the things that my focus is on as a script editor is character, is making sure that when we do funny, weird, curious, peculiar plot stuff, that it's married to something that you feel in all of the characters, because that's what makes sitcoms special, is the characters and the audience relationship with them and their relationship with each other. So it's not just that something dreadful happens to Roy, it's that Roy comes in annoyed about it, and then Moss has a reaction to Roy's annoyance, and then Jen has a reaction to what's going on.
I've got a lot on my mind right now, Jen. This bloke thinks I'm a window cleaner. Bloke I went to college with, he's doing amazingly, the creature he was with. And he thinks that I am a window cleaner. A window cleaner.
What's wrong with that? It's a noble profession.
If your last profession was cleaning balls.
Playing Roy isn't, I mean, it's not the Elephant Man, you know? I enjoy it because you can obviously his reactions to everything are very big. And he has kind of a nice honesty.
And the only other thing is, can you say that bloke thinks I'm a bloody window cleaner right into his face?
Right, okay.
Okay, here we go. And action. Craig.
Oh, the bloke! He thinks I'm a bloody window cleaner!
Lovely, thank you.
Cut there, thank you very much. Thanks, Grace.
Today we're doing the scene where Moss and Roy come across the bomb disposal robot. This is a scene that I've been thinking about it a while. I've been really worrying about it because I found it quite hard to visualize what exactly we see. But now that I see everything together and the bomb disposal robot is right there and the actors have had a go at it, it's suddenly coming to life for me. So I'm not as worried about it. It feels very achievable.
Action.
The bomb disposal idea just came about through wanting to write something about, that whole phenomenon of living in London where people have to be on their toes about things like this. And I just thought it would be nice to make Roy and Moss the opposite to that, and just not very react in not a very kind of clever way, I guess.
It's a robot, Roy. I've never seen one in the wild before.
And just total delight.
It's a robot. I've never seen one in the wild before. Where'd you come from, fella? Huh? Where'd you come from? Can we keep him, Roy? I mean, if he doesn't belong to anyone.
Okay, thank you.
Roy is Graham when he was 26, and Moss is Graham when he was 16. And it is kind of that. It's like he's still a kid, and he does live with his mum. We talk about that a lot. And it's like he's just lived in a very sheltered world and has just never made that just step forward.
Hello, Jen! It's a robot!
Get away from it! There's a bomb! It doesn't feel like other acting jobs, so it's a different kind of challenge. It's sort of like a live cartoon, so it's sort of, you don't necessarily come to it with the same sort of sense of what's truthful and all the rest of it, because it can be quite hyper real. I think that she's definitely become more one of the boys. She started off as a sort of an adversary, is that the word? A sort of, fish out of water, and she was sort of panicking and defensive, so aggressive with them, but now they're three losers together.
Okay, lovely, thank you.
I've always felt it was important that she was a loser as well, because I don't know how to play anything else.
Have you tried turning us off and on again?
I just want 100 quid.
The interesting thing about filming it on location is, because it's the climax, you're kind of tied into that using that ending. And when we write, often we will get to the studio and I'll, based on the actors' notes and stuff, I'll rewrite it again and the ending will change. But when you shoot something on location, that's your ending, and you can't really do anything about it.
Yay! Wait for me!
Got it. Thank you very much.
3, 2, 1, go! Action!
one of my favourite sites is a site called Videogum, and they posted to a trailer for a film that was about the illegal world of street battle dancing, and it was full of that kind of thing of you know, wise kind of Orpheus types, you know, giving advice to battle dancers who are, you know, at the top of their game, and some of them were evil, and some of them were good, and I think it had a kind of Romeo and Juliet storyline in there as well, and I just really found that hilarious.
Sorry, I'm not sure I'm in the right place.
Oh, you're in the right place, Mr. Moss. Welcome to 8+.
It's the whole thing of your hero being introduced into a kind of new world that no one else knows, that has rules of its own, and, you know, through the looking glass, I guess.
Maybe our new champion would like to test his skills out on the street.
He's challenging you to a game of Street Countdown. You cannot accept. It's too dangerous.
I want this to be about the most sweet and, you know, non-threatening thing I could think of, and Countdown fit the bill.
What do you say, newbie?
I came here to drink milk and kick ass. And I've just finished my milk.
We had this on the page. It's only a matter of weeks ago, it feels like, because we've done this so fast. But the difference between what was on the page and what's here, actually not that much. It's all been rather pleasing. The geeks are perfectly geeky. The guys are really funny. The timing's really good. But just the look of it, the ghastly, horrible, urban nastiness compared with the jumpers they've forced us all into, it's just brilliant.
It's kind of like Countdown, except it's in this kind of grimy, dirty area. So the mood is really like you're about to watch a fight, a really violent fight.
Graham is just the best comedy writer in Britain. So it's kind of what we do more often than not is just try and recreate what he has in his head on the screen.
He's quite precise in his head, but he doesn't know it until he sees it, because he's seen it in his head, but he has to sort of see it out there to know it's the same.
Could I get you, sir, over just behind this group a little bit? Well, where Negative One is coming in.
If it's not how he saw it before, then it's not right, and it won't be used. So that's kind of the point that we get to. And, you know, generally what he sees on the page is the funniest bit.
It's such a fun game, and the more people we tell about it, the better!
The extras in the final Countdown were mostly from Twitter, and they were amazing. They were just completely committed. They took direction better than any extras I've ever worked with. They never flagged in their energy was 100% at the end of the day.
3, 2, 1.
As soon as they realised what role they had, they just played it. And if you said, okay, now we're going to do the scene where it gets tense, you know, you'd see them all looking at each other and looking worried, and you didn't have to give them any directions.
And then when Moss says 17, everyone's
That's the value of Twitter, in that you can get people who know the show and understand the show and have them come and help you make it.
I am a massive, massive Graham Linehan fan, a huge Graham Linehan fan, and my friend was an extra, and I very nearly cried when I found out I was going to be here today.
I love the IT crowd. I sound like I'm sucking up, but I'm just very enthusiastic about everything, really.
Twitter. We got asked to send in the geekiest photograph, and I sent a picture of myself in with a Mr. Flubble from Ed Dwarf and a little cardboard Moss.
All the nerds are gathering together in little groups and proper clusters, because there's loads of us. And all the pretty Dollybird people are standing in ones and twos, sort of nervous and shy and separate from everybody. This is changing the world as we know it.
112, take 1.
And action.
Giles? Yes, that is a word, and the joke does make sense.
Nailed it. Excellent. Thank you very much.
If there's one thing I wish I'd done in Countdown, when Moss is pouring the Countdown teapot at the end, I wish that had been a kind of street Countdown teapot. If I just forgot, if I put barbed wire on something over it, would have been fine, but totally just missed that one, you know. And sometimes you have all these ideas in the week and in the days leading up to location, or the week leading up to the studio. All these ideas everywhere, new things, new little connections. The actors are making them, you're making them. But then at the last moment, you forget one big one like that. And if I had had barbed wire on that teapot, it would have been perfect.
Guys, that is a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thank you.